We all had a fantastic training yesterday when Mr. Oyibuke spoke to us. My name is Oluwatobi Afitini. I am the Assistant Community Manager for DCA in partnership with DataCamp, and most of us already know me. With us here, we have our facilitator today. I'm going to just share a brief story about our facilitator or my personal experience about our facilitator. This person is, like we all know, is one of the rising um, data professionals in Nigeria currently, and his impact in the community cannot be understated. I mean, I personally have my own personal experience with him. As last year, this person was actually responsible for landing my first data role. So please, guys, give him a round of applause. His name is Malcolm Okonkwo, and he's the one that will be giving us, he's the one that will be taking us through our webinar today. Last year, during the Data First hackathon, he was also responsible for helping me to scale through to the final round because he was there all through the whole process. I was always in his DMs asking a lot of questions. Come on. A brief background.
Toby, I think you're breaking off. We can't hear you clearly.
Hello. Sorry, my network got disconnected for a minute. Please, can you
Yeah,
confirm
we
it?
can hear you now.
All right. Thank you. So last I mentioned was Malcolm is a first class engineering graduate from Federal University of Technology. He's a data analyst, or I'll call him a data strategist. He's one of the prominent data professionals we have in Nigeria, and he's been in the data space for over 2 years. And he just currently finished an internship program with Ernst and Young, after also completing an internship program with Access Bank. So, guys, it's a privilege to have Malcolm here. So please kindly join me in welcoming our facilitator for today as he takes us through our webinar. Please kindly welcome Malcolm by sending your emojis. Please don't send a crying emoji. Please let's clap for Malcolm in the comment section. You can send your emojis. So I'm going to, okay, before I do that, I'm so sorry I didn't introduce my leader. Her name is Tina Okonkwo. So by the way, they are not siblings. So we always get this a lot. Tina Okonkwo is the data community manager for DCA. And for those of us that are new to this webinar, I'm just going to share a brief introduction about DCA. DCA is Data Community Africa. It's the community for Data First. It's one of the fastest growing data community in Nigeria, and it started 2 years ago in 2022. So for the webinar, we currently hold weekly webinars for our data camps. Scholarship holders. The floor for Tina. If Tina wants to say anything, if Tina doesn't want to say anything, I'm going to give the floor for Malcolm to begin his presentation. Thank you very much. Hi, Tina, please, you can share your screen.
Okay.
All right. I don't, Tina, are you there? I guess Malcolm is ready to present, so I think we can let Malcolm have the floor. Hi, Malcolm, can you hear me?
Hi, Toby, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Great to have you here once again. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I mean, Data Community Africa has given me a lot. It's only natural to have to give back to the community. I mean, and I mean, when you were talking about me, right? The one thing you said, one one of the rising talents in Nigeria. I went to Google to go and check rising data talents in Nigeria, and my name wasn't there. So I don't know where you got that information from. Please, just in case of next time, nobody should set me up, right? I'm just a regular data analyst. I am also growing my career, and I'm also doing my best to, to grow as everyone is here. So welcome everyone to my session. Let me just quickly share my screen and we can begin. It's okay. Sorry, I won't be able to see the comments because I really want this webinar to be very interactive. Okay.
All right. Don't worry, Malcolm. I would always check the comment section and then help you out. I'm here to help you out. Thank you very much.
All right, sure. So, let's begin. So, who am I? I want you guys to disregard everything Tobias said and focus on what's me. I'm telling you, whatever I tell you here is what's the truth. So, my name is Malcolm, right? And I'm a business analyst, or business intelligence analyst, right? And I have not only been working as a BI analyst or a data professional, I've also worked in engineering firms because I have an engineering background. So cumulatively have like over 3 years of working experience. And I'm excited to do this workshop with you. Those are the 3 things you need to know about me for this session because that's what matters, right? On my today's session, I will be talking about soft skills. This is a soft skills workshop, and the aim of this session is not to tell you or to define what soft skills. I mean, if you're here to define it, you can always just check Google. I want you guys to know the importance, like acknowledge the importance. So I'm not here to define I'm here to share my experience of how soft skills have shaped me, like shaped me or giving me growth in my career, not just because of like the skills of the Power BI or the Tableau or the Python. This is how soft skills can be game changer. And if you are someone who's lacking in soft skills, you might have to like reconsider like trying to improve on them, right? So I put a little note here. Like, do you think mastering technical skills is all it takes to get that job or to get that promotion or to get to that big feat? Like, maybe at the end of the session, you would see the power of soft skills. And I want to give an illustration before I continue. You might see a person A and person B. Person A has technical skills, like lots of them. He even like is even very good. He has, if you bring anything that requires him to like write codes or build, solutions, he's on top of it, right? If you see a person B who has technical skills, not as much as person A though, but he also has like soft skill in terms of his communication, in terms of his presentation skills, in terms of his ability to work with other people, and many others. You find out that this kind of person would be promoted more or would find himself growing more in an organization compared to the person with technical skills. Not like the other person won't get promoted, but he might have issues with relating with people. People might not tell you this, but if you're able to build something very technical, if you can't communicate what you've built or explain what you've built or tell people how what you've built helps them, they wouldn't see how what is used for. They're giving me a tool, a device, and I'm like, oh, I don't know what this is for. I don't even know where the on button is. I don't even know how to use it, and it doesn't come with a manual. I'll just throw it away because I don't need it, right? Because again, I didn't know that it was very important, and I won't know how it's going to serve me. But if a device comes with a manual explaining how this works in a very clear manner, it even gives you maybe video descriptions, everything, and you now understand. It makes you realize how important both that technical device is, and the manual also helps you know that okay, I can take it to the next level, right? And that's what soft skills do to people. It amplifies the technical skills. And you know what? Let's go into the session today and we'll see how we can touch that, right? So I said here that hard skills kind of lay the foundation for your career. Helps you land that first job, helps you perform well in your role. I mean, that's what they're hiring you for. They want someone with 5 years experience in Power BI or 20 years experience as a data analyst, right? With your technical skills, you can get that. But soft skills such as your collaboration, your communication, critical thinking, problem solving, those will transform that foundation into a strong and adaptable structure. And If this was me 2 years ago when I was like kind of starting out in my data career, if someone told me to attend a soft skill session, I would just be like, what am I doing with a soft skill session? I'm looking for the next tutorial, the next, strong course to take, the one that will make me, when I speak English, that everybody's confused. I'm happy because you know what? It makes me feel like I know what I'm doing, right? But now that I've actually worked for various organizations, I've freelanced, I've done a couple of projects, I have realized that, you know what? I struggled at first. At the beginning, I struggled because my soft skills were really, really lacking. And here's an example of one thing that happened in my first when I got my first job at Access Bank. I built my first reports and I did it like when they give you like 3 weeks to do something. I did it like less than a week. I was really fast with it because I wanted to impress my first project. When I did this project, my supervisor was like, "Wow, Malcolm, I'm really impressed. You did amazing. Well, I can't wait for you to present to stakeholders." And I'm like, "Yes, I can do it. I mean, it's my work. I built it, right?" We go to the meeting and they're like, okay, present your report. Let's see what you've come up with, right? And I was just there. I froze. I didn't know what to say. I couldn't even move my tongue or my mouth. They were like, "Malcolm, are you there? Malcolm, are you there?" I muted. I came back like, "Oh, network, yeah, MTN, Airtel, yeah, it must be them. Yeah, blame it on the network." But at that point, I realized that I didn't know how to communicate my ideas because I was always used to, I build my projects, I post online, that's all. And I felt I was good, I was satisfied, I was happy. But at that point, I couldn't tell my stakeholders what my report was doing, how it was important to them. All they saw was a good-looking dashboard with charts, insights, but I couldn't walk them through what it was used for or what it was for, how to help them make that next decision. And when I said like, take that boost, just say something. I was like, bar charts, top five here. This one tracks this. The title is here. Here says good morning, and I'm like, I was all over the place. At the point, my boss said, "You know what, Marco, don't worry, I would take it off from here." And I felt so bad. I couldn't explain why, like what I did. And at that point, I remembered when I attended I paid for a tutorial in 2020, not tutorial, but like a boot camp, 2022. Yeah. And in that boot camp, whenever we made projects, they always told us to create videos of the project, like walk people through it, explain, and they would scrutinize it. But I didn't do those projects. I was like, what's the point of all these things? Like, I've built it. And whenever I send my work, the image, you'll be like, wow, impressive. And that's all I needed. That was all I needed. Good job, fine. Because I thought it ended there, right? But the thing is that when you build something, if you cannot, like I said, if you cannot explain to people why they would use it, because you're not building it for yourself, you're building it for someone else. If you can't explain it to them, then there'll be a problem. That is where your soft skills come into play, right? So let me not waste time. What is soft skill? Soft skills are character traits, interpersonal skills that characterize relationships with other people, and they complement, like I said earlier, they complement your hard skills in the workplace. These skills are, teamwork, problem solving, leadership, emotional intelligence, and a lot more. I'm not going to talk about the entire soft skills that exist. I'm going to highlight the soft skills I feel, from my experience, have really helped me in terms of elevating my career or making me grow better, right? Or making me relate more with people. Like I said, soft skills are more of interpersonal skills. You don't have to go and take like Udemy courses or what's it called, or maybe EDX or Coursera to learn soft skills, because you might read a book about communication, but if you don't actually try to communicate with people, you won't learn you won't learn anything. It's as much as useless, right? Why is it important? Soft skills help us build and maintain professional relationships, opens the door for new opportunities and career growth. Even in terms of interviews, I mean, how do you want to talk to people in an interview or make them convinced that you are the best man for the job if you don't know how to speak? I don't know if you get me. So speaking, and even in interviews, they will even ask you, where have you demonstrated problem solving, or where have you demonstrated this, when they're trying to get to know you. I've been asked questions like that. Oh, where have you demonstrated teamwork, ability to work with a team or lead, because they know the relevance of those skills. Sometimes if you have a very, very excellent soft skills, some companies might say, you know what, he's someone we can work with, we can build on what he's lacking. I've been interviewed before where That was before I started my data journey, but I've been interviewed before where they asked me technical questions. I couldn't really answer it, but I was always, oh, can you please tell me about it? I may not know it, but I think I have an idea, but I would love to learn from you. Can you explain it to me? Or I think I've heard it before, but I'm not sure. But I'll really look it up after this meeting. Or I would even say, yeah, just give me a second. I don't know much about it, but let me just quickly look it up so I can see what it's about. So to help me, if it's something I really need to know, and for the job, I would learn it. I'm demonstrating my ability to learn. And that alone is giving them, okay, this is a platform that we can work with, this one we can ship, someone can build with. But if you're all maybe arrogant, oh, I don't think that's necessary, or why are you asking me to define a database? Are you not asking me for 5 years experience? What does defining a database mean? If you don't have very good interpersonal skills, you would likely not grow in a company. And I can tell you this for free. If your interpersonal and soft skills are really lacking, you might likely not grow in a company or with a firm. So, what else? Soft skills also help you enhance your analysis, consider multiple perspectives, and reduce risk in organization. Enables you to adjust. All these ones are English, to be honest. Really, really big English. I'm not a fan of speaking English, even though I created this slide, so forgive me. So, I really want to differentiate or compare hard skills and soft skills so we can all have a clear understanding of what is hard skills and what are soft skills, so you know how to define or differentiate both of them, right? So I'm going to compare them based on definition. So hard skills are the technical skills. Like if I ask you, can you build a model? If I ask you, can you build a dashboard? Or if I ask you, can you perform this analysis? Or can you do this? Or can you do that? That are really, really technical and hands-on. Those are hard skills, right? But soft skills are more of interpersonal, personal attributes that influence how you interact with others and manage your work, right? In terms of examples of hard skills, we have being able to write code, data analysis, data engineering, financial modeling, technical writing. Soft skills are more of a communication, teamwork, problem solving, adaptability, emotional intelligence, leadership. I'm going to highlight or talk more about these soft skills later in this session. So that's what I'm going to tell you, like its importance, what it means, how it has affected me, and how you can also improve on them. Because some people may say, oh, I'm lacking in teamwork, I'm lacking in problem solving. How do I improve on this? Because like I've already mentioned, you can't take courses on them. You can't go on Udemy and say, oh, how to work better. They will give you theoretical ways of how to work with other people, but if you do not know how to do it practically, then you haven't learned it, right? And again, soft skills are not like hard skills that you can go and say, oh, let me take a course, and once I'm done, I'm certified. Oh, masters in masters in communication, or masters in teamwork, or certificate of completion for leadership. It's theoretical, right? But the thing is, you have to actually try it. You must actually lead someone before someone can call you a good leader. I don't think you can actually say to yourself and say, oh, I'm a good leader. I'm great at teamwork. I feel it's something that people tell you, oh, you actually work better with people. Your problem solving skills are actually impeccable. You can really, really communicate. You get, so you have to work with people. You have to actually try it out before you say, oh, I have the skills, right? So what next? Learning process. You can acquire hard skills through formal education, trainings, hands-on practice, and you can master them through study, repetition, taking on projects, freelancing, working on the job. You can improve on your hard skills, right? But how do you actually learn soft skills? Soft skills are learned through experience. If there is someone that's maybe true, like while he was growing up, he was always maybe the quiet person. He never spoke up. He was always very calm, didn't know how to address people. By the time he gets older, he may not know how to talk to anybody. And you ask yourself, oh, how do I develop communication, or how to speak up? You actually have to start speaking up. Speaking up could involve maybe going to church, giving testimony. It starts from there. It's something, or maybe raising up your hands in classes, talking, contributing, taking charge. It's hard. It's really hard especially for someone who doesn't even know how to do it. Because I have been in a situation where I rose up my hand to answer a question in my office, and I fell to the floor. Everybody thought I was being dramatic, but they didn't know that it was because I didn't know how to speak. I was mumbling, I was hyperventilating, I was scared, and I fell to the floor. They're like, leave that, but you're just being dramatic. But I didn't know how to speak confidently. So let's keep going. So hard skills focus more on your task. They are more project oriented. Maybe they're giving you a particular task, they're giving you a project to work on, they're giving you something assignment. So that's where your hard skills come into play. But soft skills are more people oriented. If you think you want to start your or you want to journey through life on your own, your soft skills will really be lacking because you need to communicate with people, you need to be able to work with people, you need to be able to understand people, empathy, relate more with people, and these are actually essential for career growth. It's not all about the Python. It's not all about the the codes you want to write, because those codes I can actually just ask someone for help, right? I might be stuck in an error, and I'll just say, you know what, can you help me out with this? And the person can help me. But you that know just that, how do you want to relate with people? How do you want people to know that you are good? Even building in public requires soft skills because you need to be able to write, you need to be able to speak up, you need to be able to communicate to people. So if you think you are having issues with building in public, it means maybe you don't have time or maybe you don't have confidence, right? I'm not talking about building in public like generally, but I'm just saying that if you think you need to build in public better, if you think you need to be able to speak up, you think you need to be able to ace interviews, you think you need to be able to progress in your job, because the higher you climb in the job ladder, the lesser the technical skills you might require because you'll be giving more of the work to your subordinates. You might know more, but you won't be more hands-on compared to people that are under you, like my boss at the office. He doesn't need to build the complex models or he doesn't need to build the most complex dashboard. I'm there. He gets. He just needs to be able to know how to lead me. He needs to be able to know how to work with me, understand me better, and that's where soft skills come into play. I've attended this session with led by Olamide before. Olamide is the head of data at Wema Bank, and he told me that he, not just me, but he told us that, to be honest, like for you to take his job, you just need to know how to be a good leader. He wasn't like, even though you know how to build the most complex models, you know how to build the best dashboards, you know how to write the most complex code, you cannot take his job. He won't even be scared of you. But if you know how to do those things and also be a very good leader, then he's threatened. Leadership is not a hard skill, it's more of a soft skill. So um so how do you measure your hard skills, right? I mean, hard skills, you can measure them by maybe getting certifications, doing projects. You get like certificate of completions, working on hackathons, right? Maybe you're winning first, second position. Those can be a measure of your hard skills. But you measure soft skills through people's feedback, people's observations, or from your experiences. Like me now that couldn't present in a meeting, I knew, oh, you know what? I don't know how to speak in public. I have issues communicating my ideas. I don't know how to present my dashboard. I had a conversation with a lady one time and she was saying, oh, Malcolm, I need help with an interview. Can you prep me? And I was telling her things to see. And she's like, Malcolm, I can't say all these things. Like, how do you say this thing on the spot? I'm like, if you knew me like 3 months back, I couldn't even say anything. All I'll say is, hi, my name is Malcolm, and I'm here to apply for your job. And this is my resume. I have maybe a few years here. I have this, I have that. And that's what I'll be saying. I'll be trembling, my legs will be shaking, and I'll be stuttering. But I'm not saying I'm there yet, but because it's a gradual process. But compared to how I was before, I can see the growth. And if you're someone who you already realize that you're lacking in these things, I would advise you to start working on it before it meets you at in the future. In my situation, I could not present. I was an intern because the staff. I would have gotten a very, very bad feedback. I would have even gotten a query because I could not present what I've built to my stakeholders, which is very poor. Do you get? So let's continue. So, role in your workplace. What role does hard skills play in your workplace? Hard skills ensure that the technical aspects of your job are performed accurately, efficiently. If they're giving you tasks, you can build this, you can design that, you can, build complex solutions. That's really good, right? But your soft skills help you foster collaboration. Without soft skills, you might not even want to. Even curiosity is a soft skill. Some people are just, I know Python. If I can't do, I can't do it. They're not like eager to learn more. Your curiosity, willingness to learn more, perseverance, those are actually soft skills. When I said that soft skills help you advance your hard skills, it's actually a thing, because if you just have some skills, you might not even be willing to listen to feedback. Ability to listen to feedback, reflect on them, persevere, work on yourself. Those are actually soft skills. If you meet someone whose soft skills are really, really lacking, you won't want to work with him. Talks of even your organization or the people that are interviewing you, they wouldn't want to work with you if your soft skills are bad, right? So if you haven't like gotten any ginger to improving your soft skills, I hope this session gives you that push to say, you know what can I do to work on my soft skills? Which one am I lacking in? Which one can I improve on to make that next step? And trust me, when you start working on them, you see transformation even in your career or in your job. So now I want to buttress or talk more on those individual soft skills and even give an examples from my personal experience. The first one I'm going to talk about today is, before I even consider, are we all following? Are we all following? Let me see your emojis. Are we all following? Are you guys with me? Where is it? Are we okay? All right. I can see a thumbs up. Any questions? Are we all good? All right. All right. Let's continue. So, in this next part of my presentation, I'm going to focus on all the soft skills one by one. Not all of them, but like the ones that really, really helped me during my. Are people laughing? Jesus. During my experience, or during my 2-3 years experience as a data professional, or even in the working environment, because soft skills are not just for data professionals, it's for everyone working in an environment, like working in an office, organization, or even for freelancing, anything. You need your interpersonal skills. So let's talk communication. So back then, when we did English language, it was communication involved, but a perfect communication, right, or a balanced communication was where it's the person speaking is able to communicate clearly, right? And the person listening is able to assimilate properly. So for there to be perfect communication, you need both your speaking, your oral, your speaking needs to be accurate. Your listening also has to be accurate, and your writing always also has to be accurate. So communication involves three things: listening, speaking, and writing. So it's not just about, oh, I'm able to share my dashboard. That's fine. What about the feedbacks? What about when when your stakeholders or your your supervisors, your bosses are telling you things that they want to do, maybe a project. I want to work on this. I want to work on that. I want my prototype, my dashboard to contain that. If you're not listening very well, you would lose those details and you can't build rubbish. Have you ever built a report before and you're like, this is not what I asked for? You build a report or you build something and, your feedback is, did you listen to me at all? This is not what I asked for. I've not been there, God forbid, but still, it's a thing. It happens to people. You would build something and you give to your stakeholder and you tell, this is not what I asked for. Were you listening to me at all? I said this before, countless number of times, but you were not paying attention. You did not listen properly. Listening is part of communication. Being able to say your ideas, communicate clearly your insights. That's oral communication. Being able to write reports, write down everything you have done in a detailed manner that anyone that reads it will understand it. Most of us are working, we know these things. Like you build reports or you build a solution and you tell you, oh, document it, write about it, create a guide for anybody that comes into the organization, can read that guide and understand it. So you need to know how to write, right? So I think I was fortunate that in terms of writing, I wasn't exactly lacking that, because whenever I built projects, then I used to write about it. I used to write maybe on Medium, I used to write on my GitHub, and it improved my writing, because I was someone who always loved asking for feedback from people. So I would give them my article. Okay, what do you think about this? Someone might say, oh, you didn't write this clearly, or this part is confusing. Can you like switch up the English here? Oh, maybe you are not. I don't get the essence of this part of your article, and it will help me, and read it again, look for ways to make it clear, like clearer for people to understand. That's improved my writing, right? Listening How did I improve my listening? I think I didn't exactly struggle with listening. Some people don't actually struggle with some soft skills. They may already have, learned them by growing up, or they have acquired it one way or the other. So listening for me was not a problem. My problem was the speaking. That speaking was my problem. Before, I couldn't even stand here and speak to you guys. It was really terrible. And even speaking in public, speaking in coming out to even like address people was a I coming out to address people was a big issue. Oh, someone said they can't hear me. Am I clear? Am I audible? Let me get a thumbs up if you can hear me clearly. Okay, so I'm clear. So what I'm saying is that communication is a big part of your soft skills as a data professional. If you're not communicating your ideas clearly to your non-technical stakeholders, then it's a problem. You also need to identify who you are talking to. Are you speaking to your teammates? Are you speaking to your manager? Your manager and your teammates are technical people, so it's okay to also use like big words or terminologies because they understand, right? When you're speaking to your stakeholders, people who they just want a solution to their problem, they are not exactly concerned about how or what device you used to build it. If you go there and start saying like, oh, okay, the data model consists of fact and dimension tables, or you go down and be like, oh, the model I built was using classification, or I built artificial intelligence that takes in, they'll be like, what are you saying? Because you've lost them, right? So you need to know the audience you are talking to first, then know how to go about communicating with them, right? That involves using simple English or making it simple for them. Because I've also been in meetings where I brought someone to come and do a project with me, right? And I told them to present to the stakeholders. And immediately started, I just said, see, just do you know what you're talking to? The people you're talking to, you don't know what you're saying. You can't be using things like schema or fact and dimension tables. Everyone was lost. And I thought I was the only one, but I understood him, right? But the other people there did not understand him. So I had to just say, I messaged him like just mute. I called him and said, you know what, just if you can look for it to make it simple. Instead of saying things like, oh, my data model or my fact and dimension table, just say, oh, the data on this table is trying to relate to this table, but the relationship is having an issue. That's as simple. Instead of saying, oh, I'm looking for the primary key or the foreign key that joins these fact and dimension tables together, everyone was lost. So that's an example of me working with someone who didn't know how to communicate with a non-technical audience. And that could be you. I'm not trying to point hands or judge anybody, but I'm just saying that if you think you need to work on your communication, start working on it now. If one of the ways to work on it or to improve your communication is maybe talking to people and presenting your work. Actually, if you build a project, you can just make a video of you explaining what your work does, send it to your friends, ask them if they understand it, ask them on ways you can improve, write about it. And trust me, you may think you're not seeing like the effects now, but when you get into an organization or you start communicating, you find that everyone is on the same page with you. No one is lost when you speak. And that just improves your confidence at the end of the day. So the next soft skill I'm going to talk about is problem solving and critical thinking. So to me, this might just be my opinion, but problem solving and critical thinking it's borderline technical, because I feel like to solve a problem, yes, you need to know how to think very well, which is a soft skill, but at the end of the day, you also need to have that base understanding of those technical skills. If I'm solving a problem now and it requires me to use Python, I need to build on what I already know with Python. So in a way, I need some level of technical skills to improve my problem solving or critical thinking skills. But there are also some problems that don't involve some technical like base knowledge. It just requires you to know how to think, maybe analytically or mathematically or critically, right? So this at the end of the day helps you just improve your or know how to convey your insight better to people, or understand or solve complex challenges. If you don't know how to solve problems, you might be handicapped in an organization. It is this dashboard is not refreshing, and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. They're like, oh, but you built it. Or that might even be a simple problem. There might even be more complex problem. Okay, we are trying to run a situation here. How do we go about it? You need to even be eager to understand what's going on. Okay, yeah, where is the problem? Let's try to see if we can find the root cause of it, right? Let's try to identify where the problem is coming from That's also a part of your mindset, right? I don't need to have all the technical skills to solve problems. Even with the little ones I have, I can, with my problem solving skills, I can build on it. That's why I said soft skills elevate or transform your hard skills. Your hard skills can just be like the base, but your soft skills helps you improve on your hard skills. So the next soft skill I'll address today is collaboration and teamwork. There is no way you get employed in an organization that you work by yourself. It's not even possible. You will always have to work with somebody. Some people detest working with people. Some people like to do things on their own. And it's also something I struggled with, right? When I was as a student, I preferred that, okay, let me just do my things myself. I'll figure it out, even if it means taking me a week, rather than delegating tasks to people or working with people to accomplish like the particular goal. I'll prefer doing it myself. Just sit back, even if it takes me 24 days, I'll do it, or 24 hours, I'll do it, right? But if you know how to work and collaborate with people, you all can hop on a call. Okay, why don't we take part A, you take part B, you take part C. We all work together. Okay, well, how far are you coming along? Okay, I've done this. I'm having issues here. You guys collaborate. We work together. Okay, how do we improve on this? Right? How do we get past the situation? That's what you always see in an organization. If you have issues working with people, or if you don't even know how to relate to people, you will struggle when you actually get your job. How can you build your collaboration and teamwork? You can actually do that by working on joint projects. Let me give you an example. So I remember 2022, I wanted to work on a project. I want to work on a project. We're three in that group. I picked them. I said, okay, let's work on something together. I picked them. I found the data set, right? And we're all okay, let's work on it. So what we'll do is that we'll work on it differently. Then also what we've done together, try to study what everyone has done, try to learn from each other and grow together, right? Because we've not like been long in this space at that time. I mean, I was just starting. About 1 week when we had our first presentation or our first meeting, they came and they were saying, oh, um, we're busy, we had this, we had that, and I was the only one that presented something. And the feedback in that meeting was, oh, let's since Malcolm has done something, let's start with what Malcolm has done. Let's continue what he has done. He has already done part A and B. Let's be like, we've all done part A. Now let's all go to part B. And I'm like, I'm not learning from you guys. You guys are like trying to drag me, and I just left. I left the group. I went to go and do it myself. And in about a week, they saw me make a post about that, finish the project. And I'm not saying that was good, but that's my kind of person. I didn't have patience. If I had been more patient with them, or maybe even tried to push them to do better, or like to finish the work better, I would have learned something from them. Because some people maybe they were actually busy at that time, but I wasn't able to listen because I felt like I could do it fast and get done with. I learned that I could do better in that situation, right? And what I did, because I went to finish school first in 2023, 2022, and I finished school. So when I came back, I had to even message people like Wofai, I messaged people like Somadina, I messaged all of them that I was, let's improve our SQL skills together. I messaged them individually, and they're like, oh, sure, let's do that. We came on a group and we had meetings. We were like, you know what, I want all of us to improve our SQL skills. I want us to work on projects. I want us to tackle this and tackle that. We give ourselves tasks, we give ourselves milestones, we give ourselves activities to do weekly. We could even meet daily at that point. The energy was intense. And till today, if you ask them what's really improved your SQL skills, we will say, you know what, that time we all worked together, where we all formed the group chats, we collaborated, we worked on projects together, we improved our skills at the same time. That's really helped us in our SQL skills. And not just that, it also improved our ability to collaborate and work in a team. I don't think either of us or any of us will have a problem working with people in an organization when we get our first job. So these are ways you can improve on your collaboration and teamwork skills, right? Okay, so the next soft skill I want to talk about is time management and prioritization. This ability to prioritize is a big thing actually, because if you are someone who does not manage your time and prioritize things, you end up maybe being very disorganized. I don't know if anyone has felt disorganized like this before. Like maybe you're having to deliver a project on this for this person, deliver a project for that person, deliver a project for, like, you're having like a multiple at the same time, and you have to deliver them within a short period of time. maybe not all of them, but maybe some are longer than the others. The ability to know which one to put first before the other, be able to manage your time. Because again, most of the time during the day, from my experience, during the day, I'm in meetings, I'm speaking to my colleagues. The time I get to work are outside of the office, maybe during outside working hours. That when I get to actually do the main work that I want to do, like to deliver my task, right? So knowing the schedule, the kind of schedule I had, it helps me to manage my time properly and prioritize what I should work on compared to the others. There are times where you can get like very, very like emergency request from your boss. Oh, I need this thing by tomorrow. You can't say you want to be working on what you are doing, knowing that they need this thing by tomorrow. You can pause that for a bit, right? And try to work on this one at the moment. But if you are choked, you can't take up more. You can also speak up, oh my boss, sorry, I also have this project and that project to do by tomorrow. I want to prioritize yours, but I also have to prioritize all at the same time. If you say, you know what, I still want to do it because maybe my time is a little bit more flexible, then you can take it up, right? If you know you won't be able to do it, and he knows, oh, you don't have the chance, that those other two are also priority, he can start to delegate to somebody else. But you need to know how to manage multiple tasks, deadline, projects based on impact and urgency. One thing I use, or one tool I use, which I learned from Crown Test, is this prioritization matrix that helps you prioritize tasks in terms of importance and urgency. If it is very, very important and very, very urgent, those are the first things you prioritize, right? If it is urgent, even though it's not as much as not as much important, but it's urgent, those are the second things you should prioritize. The third thing you should prioritize, which is also like it could interchange between the second and the third, but those are also more important, but not so urgent. Those are the third things you prioritize. And the things at the bottom are the ones that are not so important and not so urgent. So with this framework, you need to prioritize or manage your task and deadlines at the same time. So maybe it helps me. So I hope it helps someone else on this call. So adaptation and resilience. So adaptation is one thing that many people don't even talk about in the data space. Because for example, there are a lot of tools, a whole lot of tools, right? You might be learning Power BI today and you get your first job, they're using Tableau. You might be learning Python today, you get your first job, they're using R. Are you going to quit? You might be learning MySQL today, get your first job, they're using Oracle, which is what happened to me. My first job at Access Bank, they're using Oracle, and I learned how to use MySQL and SQL Server. I wouldn't say, oh, I'm not going to work because it's not what I'm used to. I'm not going to take up the task because, oh, I need like a few months to adjust. Nobody has that time. I was even eager to get my first project, and I was like, I need to be able to learn and work with Oracle on the job. I had questions I always ask, and before I was easily able to adapt to using those new tools I wasn't used to. Because there are also other tools like Power BI Report Server, other tools that I've not worked with yet, but I had to be able to pick them up in short amount of time, which is a soft skill that you may not be able to learn on your own. But one thing that can help you improve on this might be being able to work outside the comfort zone and surviving. You might see a project that say, you know what, this project we want people to submit using Power BI and use Tableau. Like, well, let me just give it a try. Let me just try it a bit. It also helps to put your hand in multiple things as well. Not that you must be an expert in all of them, but I just touched this a bit. I touched that a bit. Touch this a bit. Touch that a bit. Who knows? When you get your next job, it might even be a tool that has a similar user experience or user interface to ones you've touched before. Like I got a job one time, and the job I was supposed to use something called Oracle Data Integrator, right? And man, I'm like, what is Oracle Data Integrator? You want to kill me? I thought I was applying for a BI role. I couldn't turn down the job. I couldn't say no, right? But at the same time, I knew that I'd worked with SSIS before. Not much, but just a little bit. When I opened the interface, I was like, okay, my experience with SSIS, it's not so different. I could use some idea I picked from here into this tool. It also helped me to adapt to using that tool quickly, plus my research and resilience. Resilience is being able not to give up, being able to keep pushing further, not stopping, right? Because it's only when you give up that you fucked up. So being able to keep pushing, keep trying, keep trying to, to improve on yourself. That also helped me in that situation. And if I was someone that, like, nope, I've not used ODI before, I'm not going to touch it, I'm never going to try, I give up. My employers will look at me like, what's this one saying? See, let's start another interview process because this one we just hired is not serious. You get. So the next soft skill I'm going to talk about is attention to details. This particular one saved me. I think it was in June because I was given a project to work on, right? And this project, it was the last person doing the project stopped about last year, 2023. So I was supposed to, like, start working on data for this year. That was in June. So I'm working with data from January to June. But even though the data source had data from even years back, I was on normal day, I'm supposed to just take 2024 data and I just work on it and maybe analyze it, show them what they want to see, build my reports, and I'm good. Abi, only for me to just say, let me just look at 2023's records because I want to be able to compare 2023, 2024. I want to see how the company has been doing, like in the metrics growth from last year to this year, the progression. Are they doing well? Is there a sense should there be like an audience like attention to this metric because maybe they've been doing poorly, or maybe even this year's record is bad compared to last year. Maybe last year was better and this year they're just going down. Do I need to create a sense of, let's pay attention to this one? No, I think we are not. I'm giving an example. Maybe I'm not making as much sales, or maybe our profit is going down. Just an example. And I said calculate for the previous year values as well. I found out that the previous year values were off. My calculation is. Can you guys hear me? Someone just sent me comments that. Okay. All right, let me continue. So I found out that the previous year values were very off from the one I calculated. I mean, I'm talking about because we're calculating percentage. The previous year values were about so these are like decimal, like the maximum is 1, the minimum is 0, and it's like a percentage, right? But I'm calculating decimal from 0 to 1. But the previous year person would get like 23, 22. So I thought that was like the calculation until they actually gave me the calculation to do for 2024, and I was getting like 0.3, 0.4, 0.6. Immediately I signaled my boss. So what is going on here? I mean, this one I'm seeing even up to 101, 23, and this 2024 value I'm getting 0.3, 0.6. And it's like, what did the previous guy use to calculate this thing? And all of them are looking like, they didn't know. And they said they're going to look into it. Maybe they'll have to contact the previous employees that are working with them to know what the guy did because the guy already left. But if I had not noticed it and I just went to go and build my work like that and just went on, if in July they notice that the values are off, they'll blame it on me. They'll be like, Malcolm, why didn't you? Before I even defend myself, there would have been a lot of emails or complaints that, you don't have built this, you are the one in charge of this now. How come the values are off? And me, I'll be there confused. So being able to pay attention to little details, and one thing I've learned from the little experience I have is most of the time, every little thing, every record, when people tell you do not delete null values, when people tell you do not delete records, they are not lying because everything matters. Everything makes part of that whole story you're trying to tell. Because if you end up deleting someone's record or deleting a particular number of rows or number of information, what you are doing is just bias. So everything matters. You need to pay attention to every little details. And for someone who has worked with data, you can even know that the little things, even as a white space or a comma or even a question mark in your records, can give you errors. Have you ever tried to calculate like the sum of something and you just see error, like it's just some, only for you to look through your record and you see instead of 55, you see 55 and maybe a comma or an apostrophe. You're like, okay, phew. This is what's causing my error. Because if you didn't pay attention to it, you may just be like, maybe it's from your data and you just give it back to them. You get. So that's my experience from paying attention to details. And if you want to build attention to details, I would advise you just keep working on projects. Keep working on projects, keep trying, keep looking at the minute thing that you feel doesn't matter, because who knows, the story you're looking for may actually be in those little like details that you are decided not to pay attention to. That is where the story or the problem you're trying to solve might be coming from. And the last soft skill I'm going to buttress on for today's session is emotional intelligence. And some people may be like, "Oh, what is emotional intelligence? This is not part of what. This shouldn't be part of. What this shouldn't be part of what you are talking about. There are other things like maybe leadership. I know, but I feel like people underestimate the power of emotional intelligence. And I'm not just talking about being able to manage your feelings. I'm not just talking about being able to be empathetic, like build relationship with people based on a personal on a personal level. So, I'm going to give an example. I was in a meeting one time, and I was trying to ask my stakeholders questions like, oh, um, we are trying to build this product for you, but there are some loopholes. What do we do when we get to this situation? What does this part mean? How just trying to get more ask questions basically to get more insights about what he wants us to do for him. And he just there flaring up. Oh, why are you asking this question? I thought I already said this before. It's in the recording. I said it last week. I'm like, I was just quiet. And when he finished ranting, I think because all my colleagues were there, they were just there watching. They wanted to see how I would handle it. And I felt like if I handled it badly, it would have looked really, really bad on me. So I just said, oh, so I before this meeting, I was in the last meeting with you when you said everything, when you briefed us initially about this project. I also watched the recording. I also took notes, and from the recordings I watched, the notes I took, you didn't mention this part of the project. It was skipped, and I wouldn't be asking about it to waste your time. Meanwhile, if you've had said it before, and I would only be asking because I do not want when I'm building this, when my developers are building this, they build rubbish because we're trying to serve you better. And you're like, oh, I didn't say it. Or like, oh no, sorry, you didn't say it. And I said it with the most calm tone, so that he would not. If I had brought my fire with his own fire, we would have burnt that meeting down. Because me, say I can shout. You get everybody get Chris for body, but at that time you need to be able to understand that maybe he was busy, or maybe he had a rough day, right? Or maybe he just was in a hurry. He didn't have time. So if you're asking him questions that you feel that are wasting his time, he'll be very angry. So I get where he was coming from. And I think with the emotional intelligence skills I had, or my soft skills, emotional intelligence and empathy, I was able to understand him, try to navigate that situation easily and not cause an issue. And even after I did that, my manager said, "Oh yeah, that's true. You didn't actually say it, and Malcolm was right. And we really want to do this, like make this project perfect for you and serve you better. So that's why we're asking again." And the man was like, when the man started shouting, you did not talk, oh, people did not go and talk. Me, there's a junior staff here. You did not talk. It's when I already responded and had this strong barrel that you now went to raise up your hand and now talk and clear the air. You see, sometimes your managers can set you up, but again, it's not up to them to work on your own like development. It's up to you to work on your development. So if you don't develop yourself by yourself, nobody will do it for you. So I don't know from the seven soft skills I've highlighted today. I don't know if you've seen anyone that you might probably be lacking in. Maybe it's communication, or maybe you've been given problems to solve, but you just don't know how to think critically, or maybe you have issues working with people. You try to do it by yourself, like me. You try to just do everything by yourself, get it done like in 1 day or 2 days, and bam. It doesn't work that way in the office, right? Or maybe you've had issues managing your time, or you always feel very overwhelmed and anxious by a lot of projects or work, or you don't even know how to adapt. You're slow to change. Maybe you don't like change. You just prefer to work with the one you know how to do. If it's Power BI, it's only Power BI job I want. It's only Power BI. If they say Excel, I don't want Excel. If it's only Power BI or nothing, you will starve. You will not eat. You will see job, but the job will pass you by. Or maybe you don't know how to pay attention to little details, right? You're always quick to just do a sum and just bam, that's what is ready. If they ask you, how do you arrive at this value? How did we go from 81 to 99 in 1 week? You can't explain because you didn't pay attention to those details, right? or maybe you are not, you're always like the hot-tempered person, you're always quick to, be a very emotional person, not to manage your emotion or even manage people's emotions, or you don't have empathy, you always be fighting people in the office, right? So these, for me, from my experience, are the 7 skills, that soft skills, I know that has really helped me in shaping me as a better analyst. I'm not talking about my technical skills, I'm talking about my soft skills. These 7 are what has really shaped my growth as a data professional in the past few years. And I'm not trying to talk down on the others. So the 7 others I mentioned here, just for you to know that there are a lot more. But if I want to include 5 more, these are the 5 I'm going to include: curiosity, desire to learn and ask questions and explore new things, right? New techniques. Whenever I'm working on projects, and I don't know if other people do this, whenever I want to work on a project, I always like to go for the things that I don't know, because to be a chance for me to learn. If maybe I saw a video on how to, create a bar chart in a very special way, the next report I'm building, I'm going to create my bar chart in that special way. Not because of I don't know how to create a bar chart, a regular bar chart. No, because I want to make that skill a part of me. I want to really pick up that thing and improve on what I know. If I'm not curious, I wouldn't learn it. Sometimes the formulas I already know, I'll be like, let me just look up if there's a better way to do this, to do these things. And I'll look it up and I find out there are actually simpler way, or new technologies that have been created that will make it easier for you. Do you get? So you have to be curious before you can even say you want to learn more. Because if you're not curious or you're not willing to know more, you just be where you are and you may not even grow. Another thing is leadership, ability to take charge, ability to to lead people. When I was an intern at Access Bank, I just left school because I was an undergraduate intern. The impact I made in the first 3 months, at a point, I was the one that was leading the graduate interns. I was the one that was onboarding new staffs when they were coming. Not like as if the other staff didn't have time, right? It was because of, I had more time compared to the others, right? And again, they trusted me to do it. If they knew that my skills in that aspect was very poor, they wouldn't have even given the responsibility. But they said, Malcolm is not up to the task, leave him. You get? But because of they already knew that, okay, I was willing to take up that responsibility one, and I had it in me to lead those people, and I will not lead them astray. That's why they trusted me with that kind of work. Yes, I know the reward of good work is more, but still, if people talk about you, he's a natural leader, he's someone I can trust with something very sensitive. It's good, it looks good on you, and it helps in terms of growth. So creativity, sometimes some things are always very straightforward, but being able to think outside the box, come up with new ways, not just new ways, but new and efficient ways, or new and optimized ways, that sets you out from other people. Because at the end of the day, people have the main aim of your technology solution is to make life easier for people. If you can't think out of the box to make life easier for people, you won't just be going normal way. You will not grow. I really hope that you guys can. One thing you can take out of the session is that with your soft skills, it will help you transform the technical skills that you are trying to learn. Your soft skills can help you improve, transform, and boost your technical skills. Creativity is one of them. And you can even see creativity in terms of building dashboards or reports. So another thing is decision making. Have you ever been in a situation where, like, you're supposed to make a difficult decision, and everybody like, oh, it's up to you. It's up to you. I'm Malcolm, you're the boss, or whatever your name is, maybe Tobiloba, but you're the boss. Decide. We go whatever you see, we go with it. Even your manager will tell you whatever you decide, you go with it. You'll be like, sir, I'm just an intern. Why am I making this kind of difficult situation? But still, you have to make it. And the manager won't help you because they know that if you make a decision, you will learn from it. So that is a good one or it's a bad one. And whatever you do, you learn from it, right? So decision making is also a very, very important soft skill. And the last but not the least is self-motivation. And most of us learn this self-motivation from even self-learning because, I mean, is it easy to just wake up every morning and open a course and be learning? Or wake up one morning and always be picking up new things or working on projects? It's not easy because nobody's monitoring you. Nobody is like, you owe it yourself like to improve. So self-motivation is a big thing. Some people, I guess some comment that, oh Malcolm, you're always consistent, or you have been consistent for like the past few months or few years. What is inspiring? I'm like, see, I don't have anything inspiring me, but see, I just have that self-motivation in me to keep pushing because I know what I want at the end of the day. So self-motivation is also a soft skill that I want everyone to have, because again, something must inspire you. If you're not motivated to do anything, you'll just be there. You won't be eager to grow, you won't be eager to progress, you won't be eager to push yourself further. Something must motivate, something must drive, even if it's poverty, even if it's money. Let that be enough or strong motivation to keep you going, because when your motivation dies, you just be there. You won't be on your bed. You don't even want to get up. I've been there. So self-motivation is also a soft skill that you need to work on and improve. So are we all with me? Are we on the same page? Are you guys good? Let me see your reactions. Thumbs up, reactions, comments. I hope we've learned something today. Are we okay? So I have one question for you guys. One question for you people. I want to see your, in fact, what you do for me is that when I ask this question, I want you to, because it's an option question, so there's A, B, and C. I want you to put your answer in the comments. I want you to put your answer in the comment when I ask this question. I mean, I'm seeing the comments. So here goes. Ability to work under pressure. Is this a soft skill or not? What do you guys think? Ability to work under pressure. Is it a soft skill or not? It's not showing my resume, Shad. Like I don't want to. I cannot lie to myself. Working under pressure is not something that I want to put in my resume, because I'm just setting myself up for destruction. Okay, I can see C. I can see A. I can see yes, it is. All right. All right. Joshua, soft skills. Okay. We have 51 on this call. I've not everyone has responded. I need more responses. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Why they won't put me under pressure? It's a thing, though. I've not seen it in job descriptions before. Like ability to work under pressure. Just know that they are ready for you. There is work. By the time you get that first job, they'll give you like 1 week to post on your LinkedIn. Oh yeah, I just landed the job in. By the time everybody has clapped for you, yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. From the next week, the work waiting for you. You may not even see chance to post it. But so personally, I think ability to work under pressure is actually a soft skill, because it's actually under perseverance. Being able to, I'm not saying that you should do more than you can chew, or you shouldn't speak up when you are overworked, especially when you're also underpaid. But all I'm saying is that being able to just say, oh, I don't want under pressure, I'm just stopping, it doesn't look good on you. There are times where, or there are situations where you work that is on ground, maybe more than more than the number of staffs that are available in the company, but the work must be done. So people who can actually persevere and work under pressure are people that would actually stand out in an organization. Those are people that will receive that promotion, those are people that will receive that appraisal, those are people that will get those good remarks. But the ones that will just do one and say, oh, I'm tired, down to rest, you would see it now. You would even use that, even like your colleague, you like, this guy is very lazy. You get. So for me, I'll say it's A. But again, it's my opinion. I wanted to hear you guys' opinion first. Someone said it's a pleasure skill. You guys are funny. So I don't want to look like as if, okay, after this call is just talking, or I'm just here to lecture. I tried as much as possible to tell you about the experience from my own experience, like how that affected me, how it has pushed me, how it has even transformed my experience and helped me with my growth, right? Because even in terms of speaking up, or even posting in public, when I was starting my journey in tech, somebody told me, Malcolm, you cannot start your tech journey and be quiet. It doesn't work. It doesn't help you. Go out there, network with people. Even networking itself is soft skill. Network with people, meet people, talk about what you are doing, talk about what you know. Do you think right now posting is easy? I'm sure you guys know it's not easy. it takes courage, it takes confidence to just talk about what you know. But I did it regardless. I did it scared. I did it regardless. There are times when I even wrote rubbish, but I saw the growth. If you ask me now to write a report, I won't struggle. If you ask me now to build something that involves me writing, I wouldn't have an issue with it because I know I've been doing it a lot. So, like I said, soft skills is something that you say, oh, I'm done. This is the end point. Bam. Soft skill is something that you keep working on, you keep improving, you keep getting feedback, you keep working on yourself. Some people have better techniques for on how to improve your soft skill. You learn from them, but you have to also create relationships with people as well. You need to talk with people, communicate with people, work with people, collaborate with people. Soft skill is an interpersonal skill. It's not just for me. Your hard skill can be for you, but soft skills are interpersonal skills. So I really want you guys to reflect on all we've done into this session. Not just reflect, also know the aspects you're lacking in. I'm sure when I was talking about how I froze in a meeting, everyone was laughing, but it's a real thing. And some people have even experienced it before. You might not just be bold enough to say, but I can say that I froze in a meeting. I couldn't say anything, right? Or I wanted to answer a question, I fell down. It happens. So it just created that awareness in me that I needed to work on these skills. And I'm sure from the skills I've listed here today, some people also know that they are lacking in one skill or the other, or maybe some they have a little bit of some, but need to improve on it. And there are ways to go about it. You can even go on and say how to improve my adaptability skills, or how to improve my collaboration skills, because you need to be intentional about improving on those skills. Because trust me, when you get to an organization, or if you want to really go far or grow in an organization, those interpersonal skills will set you apart from those who just have only personal skills or only technical skills. So please assess your current soft skills, identify areas for improvement, and remember, it is a continuous learning and it is for personal development. I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that you don't only need your technical skills to grow as a data professional, you also need your soft skills as well to complement them and transform them better. Any questions?
Thank you so much, Malcolm. It's
All right.
been really great listening to you, actually. Thank you for sharing your wealth of experience. I'm just going to share a brief backstory before we take questions. Am I audible enough? Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, you are. I can hear you.
Okay. So I was speaking to Malcolm earlier today that the reason why I invited him to come and speak to this topic was I was on a session. I was even part of the session, right, where Malcolm was invited to come and talk about, or they asked him a question about soft skills, and sharing his experience and listening to him. I just feel like, oh no, this should not be only for this audience. I need Malcolm to come and share this wealth of knowledge with Data Community Africa, and he has done justice. And I'm seeing reason why I wanted him to come and share that wealth of experience with us. So I just want to say thank you so much, Malcolm, for taking your time to dissect this topic very well. We've actually learned a lot, and I'm sure a lot of persons have learned a lot. So we're going to take questions now. If you have questions, please just put your hand up and I'll call your name just as I see it on my screen. Gloria, your hand has been up for a while. Do you have a question? If you do, just unmute your mic and speak. Gloria Nesimone. As if I got the pronunciation. Okay, all right. James Tinu, you can unmute your mic and ask your question. James Tinu also, or I don't know, I don't know if I called that name correctly. Please. Okay, his hand is down too. All right. So Muba, I hope you have come to add to what we've been saying. I'm not that you have a question, please.
Good. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Malcolm, for this insightful section. I learned a lot and I really appreciate it. I just want to say this compliment. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And my question comes with, okay, how should I put this? My question comes with working on that project that you mentioned. I think you already did justice to that too. But both of sometimes, okay, it's built perseverance, but you have a team, like a collaboration team, but they are not collaborative. And sometimes you have a task dependent on different. Okay, for example, let me pick for example now. Let's say as a data analyst now, you have a whole data process like a data engineer, analytical engineer, like a whole data process before it comes to your data analyst for your video report. And these people, these people have like ad hoc tasks, as I mentioned before. There are some requests that come. Let's say they need to like do something before you're able to like provide data for you for your analysis. But they have some ad hoc tasks or a server downtime or a breakage due to what they might need to do. And you need to like present that your own report. You have a deadline for that day from the C-suite. Sorry, C-suite means from the management. They
Yeah.
are the top company. So how like can one like manage that kind of scenario as a data analyst? Hope my question is clear.
You said there was a server breakdown.
I'm just putting an example, like assuming okay, the data you need should be from the data engineer, and these people have like a downtime at their end,
Yeah.
and you have a deadline for that day as a data analyst, and if they don't provide data for you, how would you like and to manage that kind of scenario, you as a data analyst,
Okay,
because your
it's not about
dependencies are that
downtimes.
there.
Okay, I understand. It's not about downtime. Is that the downtime is not your doing. You get if it's something that you were doing that was delaying on your own task because it's on you. I was okay, you know what, maybe it's something like maybe you didn't plan your time very well, you didn't like dedicate more time, or you were the urgency of that project didn't make you put in more effort, right? But it's a downtime from someone else. If you know that the time to deliver that project is approaching and there's still downtime, you can encourage that team because the downtime may not even be their fault. You can encourage that team to write an email to maybe the management that needs it, or we're currently experiencing downtime due to this and this and that, which might delay the delivery of the project. We need to communicate because if they don't know that there's a downtime, they will think it's on you. That's where communication comes into play because I need to know that there's a situation going on that will impact the delivery of this project. Okay, so what's going on? There's a downtime. What caused the downtime? How long does it take for that downtime to be repaired? That's what I'll ask as a manager. If the people that the downtime is affecting them says, oh, the downtime is from so and so situation, we are trying our best to resolve it, but it should be done in like a day. It might impact the project delivery in about a day or 2 days, or maybe some hours. They can be like, okay, I understand, but I would really appreciate if this is given to me before so and so time. Okay, so I'll try to work with whatever is what the time is given. But again, this might be shown that might not maybe beyond our control, but I'll try to work with it. It's like maybe someone is trying to deliver a product to me and tell me delivery date is Monday. By Monday, I'll call them. I'm like, where's my package? I mean, you told me delivery date is Monday. They can tell you, oh, we experienced some issues. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Because I can wait. I don't know if you didn't tell me, so you're expecting to wait for the package on the day of I'm expecting it. And now when I call you, are telling me, oh, there's an issue. Sorry, we may have to bring it tomorrow. You would have told me on Saturday. You'd have told me on Sunday. Let me even know that it didn't come on the day I need it. So that's even like a situation where communication like triumphs. If it's you that you feel like it will be on and they're not willing to speak up, you tell your manager, because there are definitely managers or even project managers on projects. What's up? There's going to be a delay in this project because of the downtime this team is experiencing. I don't want to look bad, but I'm supposed to present this in my so and so day. You can even write an email to the like to the people in the C-suite directly if it's in your place though. But again, I'll advise you go to your manager, the manager to them to tell them that there'll be a delay. But you have to speak up. If no one knows about that delay, they will think, oh, everything is working fine and the project will be delivered on the day we want it to be delivered. So in that situation, I think communication works best. And after you've communicated, you can also put pressure on the team that what's the updates, regular checking in on them. Okay, are we going to make any progress? Or is this something I can start doing beforehand? Maybe if you have like half of the data while you're still loading, because you know, if you're working with Power BI can connect to a source. So even if maybe the source has just like maybe 20 rows out of like the millions, you can already start building something with the 20 rows, knowing that when you refresh later, when you populate that remaining data, the data is already connected to Power BI and reports already built. You can start something. You get, so those are like which I feel you can handle it. But again, downtime is not your fault. So I don't think you should like wait for the time to reach and then blame it on you. You speak up and you tell them, oh, this downtime actually, which might impact our product delivery time. Downtime happens, and it's a normal thing, so it's not your fault. So in that situation, communication works best, and that's how I'll handle the situation. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Malcolm. Like you did justice to that. It did justice to that. And thank you so much. Thank you so much. Exactly, like everything, communication comes to that, but you actually mentioned everything related to how someone can like manage that kind of situation. So the reason I asked this question is I had a colleague recently because I worked in a diverse team, like whole data ecosystem. So everybody in the data ecosystem knows there is like issue with blocker affecting, and me, I'm the BI person from the AE, and everybody's like it's hi,
Am I
can you hear
audible?
me?
Am I audible?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. I lost my network for some seconds. So everybody in the team knows like there is this blocker and what's it called? The project management no, but for the stakeholders it's ultimate because I have a blocker for me. So when I got a request I immediately communicate to the stakeholder involved and the manager. So to them they were like, you guys have been having this for days and we didn't know. So, and we're expecting something like because it is being attached to me like an ad hoc task, and I see this is not it, and I communicated, I escalate those issues. So, people involved were like pressured, and it was like a shortcoming for them because they have been experiencing it for some days. And
Yeah.
everybody in the team, but the stakeholder involved using the end user using those products, didn't know. So, I think that's yeah, I always like I think in this kind of scenario, what I always do, since it's one of my experience in the past, is I always have two type of communication. I have stakeholder communication. Anytime I want to like push out something, I want to like raise anything communication. I write the one that fits the team and the project managers, and I write the one that fits the manager and the stakeholders. So
Yeah.
once I said something to them, I will say the same thing but in different tone formats to other parties. So it'll be like everybody is well known aware. And this is very important if you work like communication parties. This part kind of part is fine when you work like remotely um or you work hybridly because you won't be able to like see your teams. You won't be able to see even people involved you, they will not know you. You will not know them, but it is important in part of you. So thank you so much, Mr. Malcolm Okonkwo. I really love this session. Thank you so much, sir.
You are
Thank
welcome.
you for sharing your own experience too and adding to that. Okay, I think somebody has a question. We're going to take one more person before we call it a day. So Chinaza, you can unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay, hi, thank you, Tina. Hi, Mike, Malcolm. Good evening.
Chinaza.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you for the session. So yeah, I have a question. So my question is, let's say you are working with a team. It's not like a data team now. Let's say a marketing team as the data analyst, right? And now, like, there's a boss, then there are other staff, and the data analyst is more like a junior staff. Let's say like an intern, something like that. So the boss tells the data analyst and the marketing guy, prepare a report, more like the marketing report, the based on the back end social media analytics and all of that. Prepare the report and all of that. And because you are the juniors, like you are the junior staff and you've done this thing before for your boss, so you just went ahead, you did it ahead so that this other senior staff doesn't come back and say, oh, come and do this. Let's say you spend your whole night, you do the work so that you have like the next day you don't have to do anything. So you just go ahead and you do the work ahead. And there's this the senior staff, more like the marketing guy, that is also a senior staff, but he joined the company not too long, like he just joined, let's say a few months ago, something like that. And while you are sleeping during the day, you go back to the document and you see that the marketing guy deleted everything you've done, did his own, like he felt like what you did was wrong. He removed everything. Your boss goes through the document. Your boss is like, no, this is not how it is. I want you to go back. I want you to discuss with the data analyst to redo the work, something like that. And the person is coming back to you to like, you should redo the work. For me, first of all, what I did was I had to cry for like 30 minutes. I cried and I was like, no, I'm not doing this thing again. I'm not doing it. Like after shouting and all of that, I still had to go back to do that work again. Like I was doing it, I was angry. So if you were in that kind of situation, what will you do?
Oh my God. The person will see me in his dream that night though. If we don't fight it physically, we'll fight it spiritually. But I admire you for how you handled it, right? Because that was actually the best you handled it. You would. So before I even proceed, when you submitted the work, you didn't have like a copy, or didn't you do it on your own PC? Just trying to understand.
No, it was more like an editor's more like, oh, we are collaborating together, right? Because the work is actually meant for him to do. So you already know that work is going to turn back to you later, right? You're like, okay, let me just work ahead since I already know how to do it. You go ahead, you do the work, and him feeling like, oh, he's the expert, something like that, and he goes back, change everything, and now they tell you to go and redo the same thing again you've done before, and that kind of situation. And they are even telling you to work under pressure. They need the document. I need this before close of business today. So yeah, what are you going to do?
Okay, so firstly, did the person even apologize for deleting the work?
Senior staff apologizing. I don't know about that.
Okay, so because did he even know that he deleted your work? I'm just trying to understand. Did he know?
It was deliberate. Yeah, like
it was intentional.
Like,
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he felt like this is not what I want. Like this is not what he wanted. So he removed those things. Like, oh no, I don't want it like this. Like you are doing more like daily trends. He wants like a cumulative trend, something like that. And he just felt like this is not what he wanted, right? And did it his own way, something like that.
Okay. So in that situation, you have every right to be angry. And I think one thing that could be my motivation to do it again is that he's not because there's a manager. I would feel bad. I'll feel really, really angry. And some people again, they lack soft skills. Like they don't listen, they're not empathetic. I mean, you delete my work, you didn't even tell me why you deleted it, you just deleted it and you just go and do your own. Maybe you feel like, oh, my work is not good, and now you're coming back to me. I would be angry, definitely. I will redo the work. I would redo the work. I won't lie to you because someone has deleted my work before. Even unintentionally, I was pissed. I clearly explained that I was pissed because I can't leave that situation without letting them know that I'm not happy. I said, okay, I'll be like, okay, sir, this work that you asked me to do, I'll do it, but I want to let you know that this work was what I've already done before, and I've been doing this work before, and this man likes the way I do it, but it's okay. I'm going to do the work again, and I'll even tell him when I've done it. It's okay, I've done the work again. Here's the work, but honestly, I'm not happy. I like to let him know that I'm not happy. It might not be an email because an email is going to make it look like he might misread it. I will come to them and I'll be sad. I'm like, I really don't know what people. I didn't even have to sleep, but again, it's fine. Don't worry. and this is the work again. I've completed it. You can check here, and I'll even make a copy just in case you choose to delete it. I'll make another copy again and keep it in my own system. But he should know that you're not happy about the situation. But doesn't mean like you take it as, oh, I'm not happy with you, I'm angry. I'll go with the sad route. Oh, this is the work. Yeah, I already did it before, so but we deleted it, and I'm not happy, but I have to do it again. I even spent hours. I've not slept. I've not even eaten. Maybe you won't take pity on me, but some people are heartless. They won't take pity on you, but that's what I would have done. But I'll still do it because again, it's my job. When I used to work with people, it's literally I used to work with before. I used to tell that when I'm doing my work and you want to come to my system or I send it to you, please don't touch my work. If you have questions, ask me. If something is confusing to you, ask me. Don't come and say, Malcolm, it's not moving. Where the chat's gone, or with this line, there's a space here. I don't know where the space came from. I'm like, you clearly deleted the work. You clearly touched it. Like, don't touch my work. Just ask me. I'm here. I'm not going to bite you. And since then, she kept on doing it because she deleted a whole page of my report, a whole page by mistake. That day I was so angry, and I didn't have like a feedback. I didn't have like a copy. I did it on her system because I took her PC. I did it on her system, and she did a whole page. Hey, the anger I was experiencing that day, but I kept it cool actually because it's not professional to shout. It's not professional to act out of place, but it's okay to tell them that you're not happy. What happened? You get. So that's what I would say. So I do know that okay, you're not just so they can push you over. You also have feelings too. You can also be unhappy or dissatisfied. That's how I was played sharp. So, but yeah, I hope this answered your question. And sorry about the experience.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your response.
All right, then.
I'm sure it does. So we have 4 minutes left, but we have to answer. I'm sure there might be contributions because I see they were contributing to whatever was going on in the chat. So I'll take Joseph first, then Omokende afterwards. So Joseph, please, you can unmute your mic and speak.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so I'm just going to bring a different perspective to this matter. So since we are asked to work with the senior marketing manager, there's also the possibility that you might have reached out to him first and say, how do we go about this together? Rather than you just doing everything on your own, and then he probably bruised his ego or something like that. I don't know whether I get the point.
Sorry, Joseph.
Yeah.
I think she said that the person was kind of new and she had been doing it by herself, like before the person even came. So you might by default you might think, okay, it's something nice to do. So she went to go and do it. So it's like doing something that you already know how it works. You get, and the person is new,
Yeah,
so
but
she just went ahead to go and do it.
yeah, I understand that, but there's also like I always believe that there is a better way to do everything. That's what I believe. So another approach could be that she actually reached out to him and was like, okay, they gave 2 of us this work. Let's reason it together. This is the way I do it. What is your opinion? How do we make this report better?
Okay, that makes sense. That actually makes sense. Thank you so much for your suggestion.
Okay, I think that is all that we have. We have no more hands up. So I think with that, we've come to the end of today's session. I would like to appreciate everybody for joining. Malcolm, there are a few comments asking for your slides. Please let us know if you can share that, and you can pass it across to me, and then I'll just share the link with the community. But thank you very much, Malcolm, for joining us today and for sharing your knowledge with us. We really appreciate your time. To everybody that has joined the call, please, just a quick reminder, if you've not filled the form to join the WhatsApp community, please do fill that form. Also, early bird ticket for Data First are early bird ticket for Data First are fast selling out. So please try to get those tickets. So Malcolm is selling his slide for $50. People should contribute money. Let's all contribute money. $1 per person. How many are we? 38 on this call. So if we split it, then we'll give Malcolm the money and then I will share the slides with everybody. Okay, it's $5. The price has reduced. You're not expensive. Thank you very much, everybody. Okay, if you fill the form, we're here to send out the invite. We're going to send out the invite. We want a lot of persons to fill that particular form before we start adding people to the community. But it's very important to fill that form. There are a lot of benefits to joining the community. And you can also check out our social media page. They are also shared there. The recording for this session will be available on YouTube. And once it's available, we'll also share that on our social media. So please, if you're not following us on all our social media platform, do well to actually do that. Until our next webinar, I say bye. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. Love you.